In this specific lesson, I'm going to give you a bunch of lessons that will no doubt impact how much money ends up in your bank account and influences the quality of the lifestyle that you're trying to have. So pay attention and listen up. And in fact, in this lesson, there's going to be a bunch of lessons that, again, you can take to the bank. The first thing that we're going to explore is my income action plan so that you can reverse engineer what you need to do on a daily basis in order to hit your income targets. The second thing that we're going to explore is the price of laziness. I know in my sales career, I used to be a bit lazy. I made a bunch of excuses, and of course, those are things that you can't deposit into your bank account, and of course, we'll explore that. The third thing that we're going to explore is what the impact is of being around A players versus B players, hard workers versus lazy people. So if it's all the same to you, I'd like to get started so that you can have a plan and you can make more money and you can use sales as a vehicle to get richer. The very first thing that I want to cover is my income action plan. This is very, very, very simple. The first thing that you're going to do is write down what you would like to earn in your sales position. I wrote down $250,000 because it's a pretty decent number. The next thing that you're going to figure out is what your average commission is. In this hypothetical example, let's say that my average commission is $1,250 per sale. That would mean that I would have to make 200 sales in the next year, and I'll be able to make $250,000. From there, I'll pretend that I have a 25% closing ratio. That would mean that I would have to formally talk to 800 people, and I'll close 25% of them and get my 200 sales, and I'll earn my $250,000. Let's also say that 50% of the appointments that I set for myself don't even show up, in which case I'll have to set 1,600 appointments, and I'll have an opportunity to formally talk to 800 of those people. Let's say, additionally, that it takes me 30 outbound phone calls or 30 door knocks or 30 sales-related activities in order to schedule one appointment. The thing I would need to do then is understand that I would have to make 48,000 sales-related activities, phone calls, door knocks, in that year. And of course, I need to take into account how many days I'm actually going to be working. If you're anything like me, you might want to take Christmas off or New Year's off or your birthday off. According to what normal people do, there are about 260 business days every single year. So if you take the 48,000 sales-related activities divided by 260 days, you'll find out that in order to make $250,000, all you've got to do Monday through Friday on business days is make 184 phone calls every single day. First and foremost, looking at these numbers, I already understand that most of you probably think that 184 phone calls in a day is insane. The truth is that it's not. I want you to look at how much time you spend doing other things throughout the day. Going to the water cooler, getting coffee, scrolling through social media. I mean, most of you honestly can probably go into your screen time on your phone and discover that you're spending upwards of 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6 hours a day just spending time on your phone, not doing sales-related activities. It is also worth noting that if you don't make any cold calls and you just show up to appointments, you'll be able to stop what you're doing right about here, and you'll have more attention and an idea on how much money you can make based on your regular appointment flow. However, for this example, let's say that you actually commit to making 184 phone calls in a day. Congratulations. Assuming that you don't improve any of your skills, your appointment show ratio or your closing ratio or your ticket average, you will make $250,000 and be able to live a pretty decent lifestyle. Now that we know what the work ethic is in order to achieve our goals, and you've reverse engineered your income goals into daily bite-sized activities, the question is, what happens if you get lazy? What happens if you start making excuses? What happens if you let your foot off the gas? And what happens if you do half of the work and instead make 92 phone calls a day? Obviously, all you have to do is split all of these numbers in half, and that person would end up making $125,000 a year versus the person that makes twice as many phone calls taking home $250,000. Now, I understand that there's many of you that might be okay making $125,000 a year. I personally would rather take $250,000 over the 125. But what's the long-term effect of somebody putting in a lot of work and somebody taking the easy approach? I've already gone ahead and done a little bit of the math between person A and person B. Person A is making 184 phone calls a day. Person B is making 92. Person A is taking home $250,000. Person B is taking home $125,000. Let's say that they live the same exact lifestyle. Let's say that person B is your traditional, typical salesperson that takes every single paycheck that they have and spends it on clothes, shoes, cars, food, date nights, whatever it is that they're into, and does not actually save any significant portion of money. Now let's say that person A lives the exact same lifestyle as person B. They've got shoes, they've got cars, they've got clothes, they've got date nights, all of the things that we mentioned, but they're also taking an extra $50,000 out of the $125,000 more that they're earning, and they have better shoes, better cars, better clothes, better date nights, better experiences, better vacations, better everything, because they're living off of $50,000 more than what person B is. Additionally, person A is smart. What they're going to do is take that extra $75,000 that person B isn't able to make due to their laziness, and let's say that they invest it. Let's say that over 5 years, person A takes the 75 grand times 5 years. They're going to be sitting on $375,000 of cold, hard, liquid cash. And let's say that person A takes the $375,000 and they find some type of investment vehicle and earn a mere 5% on that money. That means that person A, while enjoying and earning a $250,000 a year income and saving $75,000, while they do that, they're also going to be earning $18,750 every single year, like clockwork, at a 5% annual interest rate. Meanwhile, person B, who failed to make as many phone calls as person A, is wild and extravagant with their lifestyle, spending the majority of what they earn on shoes, clothes, cars, date nights, and different experiences. They have no money to invest, and in 5 years, they still have no money to invest, and they are still working for every single penny that they earn. Ultimately, what I'm trying to show you right now is the compound effect of not being lazy, putting in the work and actually doing the things that you know you need to do in order to achieve the amount of money that you're looking to earn. The second lesson to explore with this is the difference between person A and person B from a financial discipline standpoint. Person A is living a pretty good lifestyle. Person B is living a pretty good lifestyle, but person A is taking a significant portion of what they're earning, not living above their means, and is taking a significant amount of money and putting it away so that they can make investments that will pay them while they get paid. Meanwhile, person B, like the majority of sales professionals, is spending most of their money that they receive from commissions on different things that don't actually make them any money. This is how salespeople end up being salespeople in the same position for 15, 20, 30, 40, sometimes even 50 years, because they have to continue working, versus somebody that burns a little bit harder, burns a little brighter, and is putting in some more work and also living below their means and being responsible from a financial standpoint. Person B has no investments, no additional income. Person A is making tens of thousands of dollars a year passively while also protecting their principal. So this number grows and this number grows. And again, we're not even assuming that person A, due to the number of at-bats they're getting, is improving their skills at all. You can definitely see the compound effect of a little bit of work ethic stretched over a period of time. The third thing worth exploring is, if you were going to hang out with somebody, which one of these two people would you rather hang out with? Would you rather hang out with somebody that's not really doing the work and doesn't really have a lot of money and doesn't really have that great of a lifestyle? Or do you think that if you hung out with person A, that you'd be able to make more money, be a little bit more motivated, be a little bit more inspired, feel a little bit better about making some of those tougher financial discipline decisions? And do you think that maybe you might end up being a little bit richer than you already are just by having proximity to person A? Exactly. The point that I'm trying to make to you is this, is that the people around you are going to influence a bit of your production. Research and studies show that B players and C players will automatically drag down the performance of A players. And also, A players are going to dramatically increase the productivity of B and C players on a team. So make sure that your team is comprised of mostly A players instead of people that are being lazy. The last thing that I want to address in this lesson is the fact that it's your life. You can choose to be person A and you can choose to be person B. The only difference between the two is the number of decisions that they make that are futuristic based and the responsibility and the discipline that they're able to actually display while making money and going to the same exact sales job, selling the same exact product with the same exact commission. The question I have for you is, who are you going to be? Person A or person B?